Welcome everyone to the Park and Recs meeting on April 20th, 2021. If you can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Steve's trying to get on, but he may be a couple minutes late.
Okay, I'll watch for him.
All right, did everyone get a chance to read the minutes from last month?
Yes.
Any comments, concerns? And just need a motion to approve.
I'll motion.
Jan motion, need a second?
I'll second.
Was that Glenn?
No, Mark.
Mark? All right, sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the minutes pass. Then we'll go on to Councilman Jake.
I think he's having, he's.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm trying to figure out everything. I'm using my new AirPods. I have nothing for you guys, but I would be open to questions.
Anyone's got questions for Jake?
I do. Just kind of an update on what's going on for our summer events like Summerfest and all of that. I know I asked that last time, and I think that's still probably in the works of being decided, but
yeah,
I didn't know if you had anything new on that.
Summerfest, I will be honest, is very much up in the air at this point. I think the consensus was we felt better about it a month to 6 weeks ago than we do now. And it's just, with COVID numbers rising, it's going to be difficult. And along with, who's going to enforce mask requirements and the like, it's going to be difficult. I'm not sure what's going to happen at this point. So, and in terms of other summer events, I would answer that the same way as I did for Summerfest, very much up in the air. And perhaps Julie would have a few more specifics on that than I have. But, right now, very few hard decisions have been made at this point.
Yeah, Jan, we're moving ahead with our summer events, with our programming. We're moving ahead, but that said, that's where we're at today. I can't speak for necessarily what will happen June, July, August, but as of right now, that's what we are planning.
Okay. And so maybe some concerts in the park, or?
As of right now, we are planning to hold those, yes.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Yep.
All right, anyone else got questions for Jake? Thank you, Jake.
You're welcome.
All right, Julie, can I have a screen share?
Sure. Okay, I have
Yep, I got it. And one of the things that OA has been doing is putting some money aside to help improve some of the parks around Oakdale. And we started out last year with BEARTH Park doing some minor and a little bit of major updates to the park. One, repairing the fence. Two, putting in the drain tile. And now we're to the next couple stages that we want to start with. One that we can kind of do now, and the other one I think we kind of have to wait until later in the season when the fields aren't being used as much. So the next project that we would like to look at would be replacing the back screen on the field itself. Can you guys see that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so I believe possibly, and Jeff might be able to help me with this, but the part where you see the right-hand side doesn't have any white blocking to it. The left has a white blocking to it. I believe when the sign was put in, they may have taken the fence down and the screening was taken down at the same time. So what we're proposing is to replace that for two reasons. One, to get the screening across the whole back area, backfield, and two, replace the white with a different color, considering it matches the ball that's being thrown. And the picture that I took here was from home plate to the pitching mound and what the catcher would actually see behind the pitcher. So the ball would kind of blend into the background. So our proposal is to, see if I can end this.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
So that section that's white,
Yep.
when it was installed, that was the only section that was there. It was because of the reflection coming off the lake with the sun. Randy had that done. So it's always just been that. It's the section to the right was never done.
Okay, I couldn't remember, but
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe the when they put the sign in.
No.
Scoreboard. So our proposal is to put a royal blue banner, which would span about 1,200 feet, starting, where you see the slit there would be the center of where the catcher going through the pitcher would be the outfield, and you would be 600 feet to the left, 600 feet to the right. And we're going to add the Oakdale city logo to the left side and the OAA one to the right, which would be in right field / left field, so that it's out of the vision of the catcher. This would approximately run us about $2,500 to do. And trying to figure out why I can't lose my screen share. So I don't know why it's not. So we'd like to replace that with that sign there. And I think it would be approximately 3 to 4 weeks before we'd be able to get that installed. So what I bring to the Park and Recs is a motion to advance this to the city council for approval. I believe we have to do that, correct, Jeff or Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is all funded by OAA, Paul?
This will all be funded by OAA.
And I make a motion to proceed to the council.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I will give this information over to Julie. My only question would be would I need to join the city council meeting to do the presentation? Or would it be worked out in a workshop?
I'm not sure. Brian, what do you think about that?
Hey, Julie.
Administrator Volkers, and chances are it will be a workshop discussion.
Okay.
I don't seem to be able to, forget it, I got it. All right, then I will pass it on to Julie, and maybe I'll CC Brian in on it, and so they got that. And if you guys want to let me know whether or not I got to go there and talk about it or not.
We'll keep you updated, Paul.
I will do. All right, thank you.
Welcome.
All right, Mr. Bachmeier.
Thank you, Chair Lockhart and commission members. I also will be sharing my screen regarding kind of an update on our capital improvement projects for 2021 and the opportunity to consider some additional improvements yet this year based on the bid results from 2 of the projects that we've already did. So with that, I will share the screen. So as part of the memo, you may recall in the 2021 CIP, we did have 4 projects listed. One being the Oakdale Park Trail repaving South Loop. We had $120,000 for that project. And then we also had re-roofing the Walton shelters for $90,000, the Walton shelter kitchen remodeling for $20,000, and replacing the Oakdale Park signs for $15,000. So we had a total project budget for 2021 of $245,000. As of today, Jeff has solicited quotes for the re-roofing of the shelter and also the replacing the Oakdale Park signs. And both of those projects, the bid results came in very favorably compared to the amount that was budgeted for the projects. Probably a combination of conservative estimating on our parts and also a good solicitation of quotes on Jeff's part to get good bid results. As a result, you can see that we have $8,000 remaining in the park sign replacement project and $21,300 in the Walton Park shelter roof. So for a total of $29,300 still available. Now we did open bids for the Oakdale Park Trail repaving last Thursday, and those numbers also came in very favorably. But at this point, we are not going to make a recommendation to utilize those funding because there may be some additional work that needs to be done as part of that paving project. So we'd like to keep that funding where it is for that project. So in addition to the $29,300 of available balance, we had allocated $12,000 in our operating budget for resurfacing of a court, be it a basketball court or a tennis court. So between the two of them, you know, it was $41,300. The one suggestion that was made earlier was to look at advancing a project that had been identified in 2022 and bringing it into 2021, and that was re-roofing of the Guthrie Park roof. And the budget for that project was $30,000. So when I combine those three sources, the remaining balance from the two projects we bid, the $12,000 that we had in the operating budget for court resurfacing, and then the $30,000 that we had budgeted for the Guthrie Park shelter roof, I came up with $71,300 available for park projects to do yet this year. Now, I did have an opportunity to talk to the city administrator yesterday, and she said we could look at advancing the Guthrie shelter project, but should not consider advancing the $30,000 in funding. So as a result, we have $41,300 available to fund projects. Now, my memo that I did prepare and forwarded to the commission last Friday, we had identified the 4 projects. Between Jeff and myself, we had solicited quotes for these 4 projects. And the Guthrie shelter was $11,800. The research courts is $18,000. Repaving the Guthrie court, basketball court was $15,000. And the Eastside Park tennis court practice wall, $16,500 for a total of $61,300. And I'll just show some pictures of 2 of the projects that I'm talking about. You know, on the basis of safety, Superintendent KOESLING and myself are recommending that we consider, if we have to limit it to 2 projects this year, it would be the tennis court resurfacing and the Guthrie basketball paving project. And so when you total those 2 numbers, they'll be less than the $41,300. And just to show you some examples, this is the Oakdale Park court. You can see the severity of the cracking that has formed in the court, and certainly a safety hazard that needs to be repaired. Down at Guthrie Park, this is the condition of the basketball court. You can see the width of the cracks now and the amount of pavement distress that is out there. It certainly needs to be repaved. In addition, the north basketball hoop has heaved out of the ground somewhat and is lisping to the south, so that does need to be corrected as well. The other project that was mentioned was the Guthrie shelter roof, and you can see the condition of the roofing. Certainly needs attention, but again, is not a safety concern. So it doesn't rise to the level of the other 2 projects that we're recommending. So again, in summary, of the 4 projects that have been identified, we're suggesting that the Park Commission consider the tennis court repair and the basketball court repaving. in these two projects. With that, I'd stand for any questions the Park Commission may have.
So would they reset that basketball hoop then back in the ground and secure it?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. We would pull it out and set a new foundation and remount the pole.
Then that'd be part of the 15,000?
Yes, part of the project.
Can they get a new backboard too?
Oh, that's good.
Actually, the backboard, it probably could be repainted, but it actually is in decent shape other than it could be repainted.
Yeah, all right.
Is there just one basketball hoop on that court?
No, there is one on the south side as well.
And that one's in good condition?
Yes.
All right. So then if we did those two, then that would put it at 33,000, right?
Right. We're not fully able to fund the third project.
Yep.
I think that's good. I got a question on that, the practice wall, Brian.
Yes.
What does that all entail? 16.5 for a wall seems pretty spendy to me. What's all?
Sure. It's the labor and installation of the wall. It is, I think I do have the quote that I could show. Let's see if I can find it here. Here's the quote. Are you able to see the quote?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's the furnishing, installing the hang board, they call it, making use of the emplacement posts that are there. So quote for the work.
So they didn't break down materials and labor, obviously. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. All right. I think that's something as we go, we'll have to look at that one a little closer. I'm good with the Oakdale Parks tennis courts and the Guthrie basketball court. I
agree also.
Yeah.
I like that it's being split between different parks and different, I don't know, activities. It just feels a little more equitable to me.
So then do we need to make a motion on that then, Julie, to recommend the resurfacing of the Oakdale Park tennis court and the repaving of the basketball court at Guthrie?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Do we need to do them separate or can we do them as a whole?
you can do them together.
All right. So then can we get a motion to move forward to the council or recommend to the council to resurface the Oakdale Park tennis courts and repaving of the Guthrie Park basketball courts?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
I'll second.
Any other discussion on it? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
So that will leave us 8,300 to kind of mesh together with the rest of Parks Without Borders kind of budget, even though we don't have a budget.
If another one, if another project does come up yet this year, if not, it does carry over to next year, the balance.
Okay. So if a resident does come in and kind of want to request something and it's within the funds, we might be able to do it?
We may be able to take a recommendation. Yes.
Correct. All right. Anyone got anything else for Brian? All right, Mr. Koesling.
Hey, so we're just trying to get on fields. We've been pretty successful. It's obviously, the weather hasn't cooperated since Easter, but we have adult softball. We actually have some traveling games starting this week. Adult softball will be this coming Sunday. I'm trying to get water on in buildings. That's when they're not heated, I can't turn them on. So I'm hoping Monday, it looks like the lows will be in the 40s and 50s from at least the next couple weeks out. We should be okay then. But right now, with the way it is, as cold as it's been, I can't put water on. So I know people have been asking about that. Otherwise, the crews have been out. We've been land level and dragging. and sweeping and cutting and dethatching all of our fields as we go. I know we did Tanner's baseball today, and we got on a couple fields over at Walton. I think we got 2 more to do there, and we're just moving through all the field areas first. So just trying to keep up with that, and then whatever else comes up. We've been assisting other departments with some stuff, but we're just keeping busy, and it's going to get, we sort of had a year off. So some of this it's going to be fun in the next week when everything hits. So we'll handle it. We'll get it done, but that's what we're busy doing right now. So short and sweet.
Awesome.
Stand for any questions or whatever anybody's got.
Does anyone got anything for Jeff?
I got a question from whatever that little shed they were talking about for the mound.
I haven't heard any more on that, Steve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't heard any more on it.
We're meeting with Jeff on Thursday afternoon to discuss the shed part is going to be one of them. And then we're going to talk about some field improvements, get his idea of what he, that we can get together and work on, and work on the adding the dugouts to BEARTH Field would be the last project, I believe, that down at BEARTH Field would be putting the dugouts in. But that would have to be later summer. So we're meeting with Steve with Jeff on Thursday to talk to him about that. And then Jeff, I was down at BEARTH Field this weekend to take a picture of that background there.
Yeah.
And when we put that drain tile in,
yep,
all that dirt has now settled. So now it's caved in.
It's horrible.
Yeah. And then where the drain tile is, you can't even tell where those are anymore. And I don't know if it's because of the mesh that's over the top of it.
Where the drain is, you mean? Where the drains are?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look at it. I was down there today and looked at it. But yeah, that all needs to be, the problem is we'll top dress it and seed it. It's never going to grow. It was done late in the fall. I actually had talked to Brian about that and had him come back because the contractor did such a poor job of top dressing and seeding it. And we knew it was going to settle because they did it so late. So yeah, I'll try to get some, that'll get attended to, but yeah, it's a matter, do I sod it or seed it? It's got to be watered, and it's just a struggle we're going to deal with, but I'll do our best to get it into shape, Paul.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah, not a problem.
Otherwise it looked good down there. The asphalt still looked like it was in decent shape still, where they replaced the drain tile area or put in the drain tile area. So,
yep.
All right. Anyone got anything else? All right. We'll go on to Julie.
All right. Thanks, Commission. Just a couple updates here for our April programming. Our early summer newsletter will be available online this week as well as in-house, so we'll have that ready to go. The full summer newsletter, that will be mailed to residents mid to late May, so watch for that. That'll include all kids and adult activities for the summer. And program registrations will begin next Thursday, and that is April 29th. So that's the first day we're taking registrations for anything. So hopefully we'll get a lot of people signing up, anticipating our programs restarting again. Our mystery egg hunt, that was held a couple weeks ago on April 3rd. That was the day, Saturday, it was 70 degrees and sunny, so we couldn't ask for a nicer day to have our event that was held outside, and it was beautiful. So it went really well. We were full with 150 kids. Thanks to Larry and Vicki Everhard, they're our partners in this event. They provided donuts and they raffled off 2 bikes. So they partner with us every year on that event. Our best snow sculpture of Oakdale contest. So we had a winner, and congrats to the Osby family. They won for the Oakdale police officer snow person. So if you saw that picture that I included in your packet, it's a cute snow person that they had. Our theme this year was Everyday Heroes. Our community walk, that is underway. So within 2 weeks, we had 180 people sign up for that event. So starting out strong, people are ready to start walking again. Oakdale residents are rewarded for the amount of miles they walk only in the Oakdale Nature Preserve. So that's how that works. Our artist of the month, that is Marilyn Stevens. She's back April through May. And then we have our park cleanup, which is scheduled for April 26th, and that is next week. So we already have 100 people signed up. So thanks for all who have volunteered for that. If you're interested in signing up, just give us a call and we can get you down on the list to get you out there on that.
I have a question on that.
Sure.
Julie. So are pretty much all the parks then, if you have 100 people signed up, is all the parks then taken care of?
No, there's still open parks. You know, like Oakdale Nature Preserve is obviously very large, so we have a lot of people here. So, you know, there are still opportunities out there.
Okay, I know my group signed up for East Side, but if we finish that, I didn't know if there were some others that maybe you can later on give me a list of what other ones might need done.
Yeah, just touch base with me on that. I can let you know.
Yeah. Are the bags already ready to pick up at Discovery Center or not till later on?
They are being worked on as we speak.
Okay. Can you maybe, I was wondering if you could shoot me an email when they're ready, or
sure.
Should I plan on Thursday or Friday of this week?
You know what? I will have Laura send you an email when she has completed them, and then you'll know when they're ready. Sound good?
Okay, good. Yep.
We have our Junior Master Gardeners class, and that'll be this Saturday. We're full on that event as well. Pickleball courts. So I think Jeff spoke about this last month that we opened early in March. Our lessons will begin on May 4th, and that class is also full. And then lastly, our Wellness 50 Award. So congrats to our partner, the Oakdale Wellness 50 Group, for receiving the 2020 Washington County Public Health Achievement Award. And that was in the group category. So we appreciate your partnership and everything that you do. So I know, Jan, you're a part of that. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for
nice award.
Calling us out on that. Yeah, that was really exciting for us to get that award. And we're looking forward to seeing it. I haven't seen it yet. So
yeah, we'll have it on display
about
here at the Discovery Center. So stop by and take a look.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's all I have. If anybody has any questions for me.
I have something. I'm not sure if it's a you question specifically, Julie, but so I'm doing the community walk on the Oakdale trails, and I posted a picture of the boardwalk, and a newer Oakdale resident, Jimmy Wheels, or James Levold, I think is his name. He commented how he wasn't sure if the boardwalk would be safe enough for his electric wheelchair. And so I responded that I felt like it was plenty safe. The only thing I could really think of was if he had enough clearance on both sides of the post, which he messaged me how much space he needs. I feel like that's fine. But I also realized that the trail to the boardwalk from the Discovery Center is very, very hilly and would be quite a barrier for someone who's wheelchair bound. Sure. So then I dug around on the Oakdale website. I found our trail map, and there's not actually a route that's marked that would seem to be wheelchair accessible. I've been on those trails plenty, so I feel like there are definitely loops and chunks of the trail that are wheelchair accessible. But without someone knowing that ahead of time, we're putting them in a pretty miserable position, or just making them feel like the whole system is inaccessible. So I'm wondering if it can be as simple as just adding to the map that we already have a designation of, if you are wheelchair bound, here are the spots you might want to stick to, and maybe even parking at the Discovery Center wouldn't be the best plan. It might be parking, by the playground area or the tennis courts. But just thinking of things like that, I would hate to think that our handicapped residents, or those who are more mobily impaired, are feeling like they can't access the trails at all because they're not sure which parts are safe and for them.
No, that's a good question, Jenny. Thank you. We can certainly add that to our maps. That's not a problem. I don't know if Jeff or Brian, you want to speak to that at all?
Well, so Jenny, was he concerned about going across the boardwalk in his wheelchair?
Yeah, so he's a brand new resident. He's never been to, so initially he was just worried about the boardwalk being safe enough. And I was like, well, it's sturdy, very well maintained.
I can tell you this, if we need to, those posts were put in so to keep vehicles off.
Sure.
Like four-wheelers, whatever. If we had to take an ambulance across there, it was built for that. It'll handle it, no problem. So it'll take a vehicle, it's designed for that. If we had to get a medic rig across there, it'll go across there. It was designed for that. The structure's strong enough to handle that. So the wheelchair wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, it was more just, if he was at the Discovery Center and was just going to pop on the trail and go right to get to that boardwalk, he'd be pretty frustrated pretty early on with those steep up down hills.
Yep.
So I was like, I think if you can get there, you'll be just fine. But it's really being strategic of how you get to the boardwalk.
Yeah.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah, please.
I would actually encourage you guys that if Julie, if you want to update the map, ask Jimmy if he would be willing to help. He's somebody that I've gotten to know pretty well since he's moved here. And I think he's looking for ways to help. And he is, and in addition, he is a disability advocate. So I think something like this would be right up his wheelhouse.
Those are actually the words he used. So Jimmy would love to help.
Okay. Okay. Jenny, if you'll let me know contact information later, we could certainly do that.
One comment I would make is any park improvements that have been done since 2010 have been ADA compliant. So any paths that existed before 2010, including the one you're referring to from the Discovery Center to the west and then to the north, that one is not ADA compliant. So I can see his concern. We can certainly generate a map that identifies which trails are ADA compliant. And then also, as we're rebuilding the trail system, we are making every effort to bring them into compliance with the ADA. So I think that's a good suggestion made, and we will work on a map identifying the corridors that meet ADA.
Thank you.
Awesome. Anyone got anything else?
Yeah, I'd like to bring up something. I was approached by a resident who's a Washington County master gardener. And she just brought it to me as an idea, and she wanted to see if there's what there might be as far as interest for something like this. And what she was suggesting is, this is not quite the right term, but within an Oakdale park or something, a community garden. And what she really meant by that is it would be an allotted type thing, that for residents who say, want to be able to grow produce, for instance, for personal consumption, that they're apartment dwellers, or perhaps they're empty nesters who have downsized and are now in a townhouse and don't have access to something like that anymore. But she was suggesting from the standpoint of that it would be areas then that would be rented, that they would be responsible for their own taking care of everything. If anything, they would need maybe some area that would have access to water. And then perhaps as all that else would be needed is that maybe even something as simple as a chicken wire fence around a given area. But she doesn't know if anything as like this has ever come before the Parks and Rec Board before. And what she has seen, and I've heard before, is that with COVID and what has been happening with COVID, that people have been interested in more maybe doing this sort of thing. She also told me that within Washington County, as far as what she knows, that Cottage Grove is doing some of this. Forest Lake, Scandia, and that Woodbury is considering it. So anyway, I told her then I would bring this to the Parks and Rec Board to just see is what people think of something like that. Is there some way, like within the Oakdale Updater or something, that we could have a survey to see if is there any interest for this sort of thing? But I thought it had some merit to it. So that's about all I have as far as fleshed out. This lady did tell me she'd be willing to check on things, and they did see a presentation to the Washington County Master Gardeners from a group in Hennepin County who is doing this same sort of thing in Hennepin County. So I just wanted to bring that forward and see what people think.
I think it's a good idea. I just don't know if we have a partial that's would be able to accommodate, whether it be multiple partials or one.
Chair Lockhart?
Yes.
A number of years ago now, the city did consider this concept, and we can go back and provide that report to the commission so they can reconsider it. It was a number of years ago now, but we did go through this exercise. There was survey, there was research, sites were evaluated. The conclusion at that time was that the city was not going to proceed with that kind of program, but we can certainly get that report again and at least use that as a starting point.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Welcome.
Anyone got anything else? Then I look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion.
Jan, second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Thank you, everyone, and have a great night.
Thanks, Paul.
Bye.
Two.